Hello guys, I'm here back again. The last video we saw how we created a link aggregation control protocol. In this video, we're going to see how we can create a port aggregation protocol. So for that, first we have to tear down the configuration we did on the switches. So how do we tear it down? So we go in here and see show. If I show run. So we have to tear down all this, what we created here, the port channel and the Ether channel. Okay, so for that we're going to do configure terminal, no port channel 1. Okay, no interface port channel 1. Okay, and also we have to do interface range faceted 0/1 to 2. Okay, we'll say no switch port, mode trunk. Okay, no switch port is okay, no switch port. And then we also say shutdown. Okay, so now if we go show run, okay, so the ports are completely free, they're shut down, everything is good. So now we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. We're going to go on the switch 1, configure terminal, no interface port channel 1. Okay, and interface range fastener 0/1 2, no switch port, mode, no switch mode. Okay, show run. Okay, so channel group and the port channels are tear down and the ports are also shut down. So now we're going to do what we're going to do right now. We're going to configure port channel. Okay, we're going to configure the PA. We're going to configure the port aggregation protocol. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. So for now, for that, we're going to go into the switch, first switch here. Go into this switch, and again we're using the same ports. Okay, fastener 0/1 to 0/2. We're going to bundle those switches. So configure terminal, interface range fastener 0/1 to 2. Okay, and then we call it channel group. We'll give it a number. Okay, we'll give it, let's say, number 2, channel group 2, and what mode. So now we are creating a port aggregation protocol. So one side we're going to set it auto. Okay, and then the other side we could set it as desirable. Okay, that way the two together, they're going to be able to form the port channel. Okay, port channel aggregation. So let's call it mode auto here. Okay, and once we hit enter, we see port channel 2 was created with the same number. Okay, this is something very important. Always note this. So I'm going to exit out of there. I'm going to say interface port channel 2. Okay, yeah, so much. We'll call it switch port mode trunk. Okay, and so we're done here. And we go to switch 1. Say configure terminal, interface range fastener 0, 1 to 2. Okay. Switch port, sorry, not switch port, channel group. Channel group, let's call it channel group 2. Okay. Mode. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to use the same channel group. Okay, let's call this side channel group 3. Okay, doesn't matter because the channel group name here, channel group number here doesn't have to match on the other side. Okay, channel group 3, then mode. Now this is what has to match. Okay, otherwise it's not gonna form. So on the other side, we set it to auto. So this side is going to be desirable. Okay, so this side is going to be mode desirable. Okay, go there. Channel group port 3 was formed. That's okay. Exit. Now say interface port channel 3. Call it the switch port. Mode trunk. Save. Now we have to test. We have to check first if it synchronizes. If it synchronizes, then we have to check if the port channel is up or not. So let's wait. Yeah, so what happened is, since I checked, I assumed that the port channel number doesn't have to match on both sides, and that was a wrong assumption. So that's why the link has not come up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to tear down the port channel on switch 1, okay, and make sure the channel group matches, okay, because if it doesn't match, the group is never going to come up. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just tear down the port channel. Terminal, no port channel 3, okay, no interface port channel 3, no interface port channel 3. Okay, so that's tear down. So now I'm going to configure it again with now using port channel 2 instead, because it has to match on the other side as well. So configure terminal, sorry, interface range fastener 0, 1, 2. Okay, channel group, okay. So this, what is important here, the channel group that we set previously was 3, but it has to be 2 to match on the other side. So channel group 2, okay, mode. Now on the other side we set to auto, so this side we're going to set to desirable, okay, and hopefully that should work, because that's the only thing that made the channel not to come up. So now I'm going to go out of there, save the config, and save it. No, I wouldn't save yet. I have to convert that port to a trunk port. Interface port channel 2, switch port mode trunk. Okay, that way it's trunk on both sides. So now let's wait for the group to come up. All right, so our port channel is actually finally up now. Let's see what it has. Let's go into switch 0. Let's go into switch 0 and see if our channel group is up. The port channel is also up. So we're gonna say show Ether channel. Okay, summary. Okay, it's up. Okay, so what happened is there were actually 2 problems that happened. Okay, there were 2 things, and there were 2 things. So the channel group on this side was 3, and the channel group number on this side was 2. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is that in the previous video I had shut down these ports, and I forgot to enable them when I was creating the port aggregation link protocol. So we can test again. Just test here, see if we can ping the other side. By the way, before testing, just a little bit of what this is all about. So you can see port channel 2 was created. Okay, port channel 2 is created here. So port channel 3, let's see, show the channel summary. All right, so on switch 0, port channel 2 is created. On switch 1, port channel 2 is created. Both ports are up. Okay, the port channel is up, and we see that the protocol is a port aggregation protocol. Okay, so and it's bundled between fast Ethernet 1 and 2. Okay, so it's according to exactly how we want it. Okay, now there's one thing I would like to test. Okay, I would like to test this. I'm not very convinced, but I'm just testing, just for sake of testing. I'm going to, instead of using port 2 on the other side, I'm going to use port 3 on the other side. Okay, I know I used it before, but the thing is that there were two problems that actually I couldn't figure out if it was because I used a different port or because the port itself was down. So I'm going to use port channel 3 here, and I'll keep this port 2 on switch 0 and see if the link is still up. Okay. All right, guys. So what happened is I set up this side of the switch. That's right, switch number 1. I set the channel group 6. I set this one as channel group number 2. Okay. As I said, I wanted to be sure that the number I set for channel group doesn't have to match. Okay. So I set this one as channel group 2 to group 6, and then group 2 here, and it works. So you see the links, the ports are up. So if I go into switch 0, I do show a channel summary. Okay, so you see port channel is number 2, channel is up. Okay, channel is up, and it's a port channel aggregation from between ports 1 and 2. On the switch 1, it's from between port 1 and 2. It's a port channel aggregation. The port channel is up, and it's port channel 6. Okay, so the numbers don't have to match, and that's a good point there. That's very important. And so now we can test. You can see if there's communication between the two sites. Let's say we go into this PC. Let's try to see if we can ping 10.0 to 0.2. Let's see if we can ping 10.0 to 0.2. Sure enough, the ping is working. So that's perfect. So that concludes this part of the video. And the last one is the short. It's going to be the shortest one. I could, by the way, just link it up right now. I'm going to show you how you could set up the simple port channel without actually specifying what modes. Okay, that's the last part I'm going to see here. So we've seen, so far we've seen link aggregation protocol, control protocol. Okay, that we've seen the port aggregation protocol, this Cisco proprietary. We've seen this one. There's a last one which is called the static way of configuring port channel. Okay, where we just set this one to on, this side to on. We set this side to on, and the link also works. Okay, so that one, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tear down this configuration. It's going to tear down. I'm going to configure terminal, no interface, port channel 2. Okay, just going to tear it down. I'm going to leave the switch port as trunk. Oh, no, I could actually tear that one down. So I'm going to say interface range fastnet. Oh, if I do that, let's do something. Let's see here, show run. Okay, the ports are set to trunk. I'm going to leave it that way just to make things quicker. So go into the switch, clear this one out. I'm going to tear down port channel 6. Okay, configure terminal, no interface, port channel 6. Okay, let's see what we have. Show run. Okay, so that's what we have. The ports are shut down. So the only thing we have to make sure when we set it up again, we have to do no shut. Okay, that's the only thing we have to remember here. So we just go straight into the configuration. We can start with any switch. It doesn't, at this point, we don't matter because it's going to set it up just to on. So we can start with switch 1, configure terminal, interface range first internet 0, 1 to 2. Okay, the channel group, let's call it, we're going to call it channel group 5. Okay, now mode question mark. So we're going to set this one to unconditionally on. Okay, so that's the static way of setting up the on the ether channel. Just set it to on. Okay, and we're going to be, it's going to be mode on the other side as well. It's mode on. Okay, just like that, the port channel 5 was created. We're going to exit out of there, and then oh, by the way, it's just interface range. Okay, no shut. Just going to set no shut. Okay, then exit out of there. Interface port channel. What port channel do we set? Port channel 5. Okay, start with no shut. Okay, no shut, and then we call the switch port mode trunk. Okay, show IP interface brief. Just be sure that the ports are actually up already. Okay, so our ports are ready on one side, and now we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go configure terminal, interface. No, I have to shut down the already created port channel, so no interface port channel 2. Okay, that one should shut it down. I think we did already, so let's take configure terminal, interface range first internet 0, 1 to 2, no shut, very important. And then we say channel group. Now on the other side we set 5. As I said, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to just say 4 mode on. Okay, we set mode on is on both sides. Okay, so we just say mode on. Okay, exit out of there. Interface port channel, this side we set to 4. Okay, switch port mode trunk. Okay, we will show IP interface brief. Just be sure the ports are all up. Okay, ports are up. Okay, good. So we're going to wait for the ports to be synchronized. When they're synchronized, we're in switch 0. We'll just show ether channel summary. So our ether channel summary shows that we created group number 4. Okay, group 4. Okay, we created a port channel 4. Port channel is up. The link is between fast internet 01 and fast internet 02. And if we check on the other side, show test channel summary. So it's the same thing. Port 5 was created for the group. Port channel 5 is up, created between FastNet 1 and 2. Okay, so again, our ping should be working. Ping should be working. Okay, so ping is working. So and one thing you have to note here, see the protocol, there's nothing written here. Okay, so which means it's just the I mean, it's just that is the default. Okay, which is mode on, which is okay. There's nothing, we don't see any protocol because you just set it to on unconditionally. So that makes it for this channel, for this particular video. We're done. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment, and we'll talk to you next time. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can, let me just put it here on the screen. Okay. So far we're creating, we have a switch. We have a switch like this. We have another switch like this. So we're creating Ether channels. Okay, we're creating port channels. We're grouping them together, creating port channels. Right now, in the next video, I'm going to show you how we could, because remember, this link, this port channel is a logical link. Okay, it's a logical link. It's not the real link. The physical links are the ones that we actually bundle them together. But the port channel itself is a logical link. Okay, that we give configuration, make it a trunk, or make it give it a bandwidth or whatever you want to give it. Now, in the next video, we're going to see how we can use Nexus switch. Not this, because this one's our iOS switch. So next one, we're going to see how we're going to use a Nexus switch. Okay, we can use another switch here. Let's say call it switch 3. Okay, and then we bundle these two links. Okay, between switch 1 and switch 1 and 2. And now we create another type of port channel. So I was explaining how you can bundle. In the next video, we're going to have to see how we can bundle two switches, just like we did in these videos. We bundle them together. Okay, and then we also link them up to a third switch. Okay, link them up to a third switch. So the equivalence of this diagram is equivalent to one switch here and another switch here. So this is switch 3, and this is switch, let's say call it switch 4. Okay, so, and these two links that you see here are the same two links that you see here. Okay, so we're going to see how we can use a Nexus switch to bundle 3 switches like this and create an third channel, port channel between the two of them. Okay, so it's going to be equivalent to this. It's a little bit longer video, but we're going to see that in the next video. And this is exactly what I showed here before, the beginning of this series of so I showed this one before. So I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this one. Okay, so you have two links. Okay, those are router links. You bundle them together to create a port channel. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to check in the next video, and it's going to be a little bit much longer, but I'm going to make it as split as possible. Okay, so that's it for this video, and thanks so much for watching, and talk to you in the next video.